People who manage to continue the story of their dream after they fall back asleep. I've been in a dream, looked at my buddy, and told him I'd be right back because I had to pee. Wake up, take a piss, fall back to sleep, and greet him and continue my dream multiple times. No. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Easy Peasy. My name is Zach, and today we're going to be taking a look at r/Thathappened. Once this girl in Marin was trying to overtake me at a U-turn, but I did not let her, so she went around 6 or 7 cars, took the U-turn at full throttle, stopped on the other side of the road, got out, clapped at me, got in the car again, and drove away. Legend earned my respect, not gonna lie. How? Why? I sat in a courtroom and watched as 2 detectives lied their faces off. When the prosecutor found out that the reliable informant these 2 detectives had used to set me and my co-defendant had flipped and was now going to testify for the defense, the charges were dropped, and as far as I know, nothing was done to the 2 detectives. A couple weeks later, I did get a good one-off on one of them. I entered a pool hall and one of the detectives was inside talking to one of the customers. I bought a Coke and sit at the counter watching a game when the detective walked by on his way out. A step or 2 past me, he stopped, turned and said to me, "I'll be watching you." I replied, "You're not lying to me now, are you?" The place erupted in loud laughter. Right, okay. LMFAO. I was talking with my GF's grandma while waiting for my GF to get ready, just putting on makeup and such, and I'm talking small talk since I barely know her, and she notices the hoodie I'm wearing says College of Winterhold 4E201 Hearthfire 4th, and the convo goes, "Grandma, ooh, do you go to college? What do you study, girly?" Me, without missing a beat, "I studied the arcane arts, more specifically restoration." Now, I was fully expecting "is that a type of astronomy?" kind of response, but this lady scoffs and says, "Puh, that's pathetic. Everyone knows conjuration, which leveled up, is a superior branch of magic. Restoration can do nothing but heal your wounds and rebel against the undead. With conjuration, you can summon a Daedra to do the work for you." My girlfriend does not play Skyrim, but her grandmother does. It's all we talk about now when I'm chilling with her grandma. Not likely. When I was a flight attendant, me, closing overhead bins. Guy, "I thought we're not supposed to smoke in the aircraft." Me, "Yes, that's correct." Guy, "Well, you are smoking." Me, "What? I don't even smoke." Guy, "Smoking hot." Surrounding passengers. "Oh, haha," claps. Me, "Oh." Guy, "Maybe I should have left that at the gate." Me, "Haha, please fasten your seatbelt." Guy, "So can I take off with your number?" Random guy, "Damn, he just went there. He got free pretzels for being punny." Okay. What was your wittiest comeback that you're still proud of? Working at pizza shop, troublesome customer tries to stack coupons that clearly state 1 coupon per purchase. After being refused by everyone in the restaurant, including the owner, he goes on a tirade saying that the district attorney is his cousin and was threatening a lawsuit. Lol. As he was heading for the door, he said, "You can't afford to mess with me." I shouted after him, "You can't afford a large pizza." You know, that'd be cool and all if it actually happened, but no. Little did you all know that this little lady could deadlift more than you ever will, and she's only beginning to reach her potential. If you felt inferior to her while reading that, that's because she's willing to push herself more than you ever will. Her 245 pounds deadlift is an amazing accomplishment, and I'm so proud of her. If you mess with her, you also mess with me. With my 460 pound deadlift, you won't even want to think about blocking our way. Wow, dude, so cool. I was about 9 when I saw 2 boys in early teens smoking and yelled to them, "You know those will kill you." And they replied, "Want to come over here and repeat that?" Nah, I like the idea of you dying before me. You are a badass 9-year-old. Everything except your last reply is believable. I was about to reply with r/Thathappened. Yeah, these guys know he's full of crap. Been on my own medical roller coaster ride for like the last month. Today saw me in the city for some tests at the hospital. While I'm walking back to my truck, I see this young fellow letting out a lady by the ER entrance. She's maybe late 40s, early 50s. I ask him if he wants my parking space over in the lot. He points at her and tells me, "She's got the COVID, man." I could hear the look on her face through the mask she was wearing. Please don't judge me. She's barely moving towards the door. I'm thinking I had to go in and grab her a wheelchair and roll her on up. Instead, I walk up close and tell her, "It's just a coronavirus. Probably ain't even as bad as the flu. Don't let him with your head." Her face brightened magically and she almost marched through the ER doors. This medical tyranny. God, no, that didn't happen. When I was somewhere between 7 and 9, I learned how to fart on demand by inhaling air up my butt. It took some technique, but I could do it indefinitely. Word got around at school, and one day I was cornered by around 15 kids demanding to know how I did it. That is how the teacher caught 16 kids lying down with their legs in the air doing gas training. What? I know for a fact I've told this story on here before, but I'll never get over the time when I was working retail and I was cashing out some ladies. So I asked, cash, debit, or credit? How are you paying, ma'am? And she said, that's none of your business, and demanded to speak to my manager about my invasive question. Oh, I've got one in this vein. A lady called our company wanting us to come steam clean her tile floors, but refused to give her address, instead demanding that we do it at our location, and hung up when I tried to explain that her floors were attached to her house. Let that sink in for a second. I was at Publix yesterday, and a maskless woman was right up my ass in line to check out. I turned around and very bluntly said, if you aren't going to wear a mask, you need to get at least 6 feet away from me. I stepped forward to get some space so as not to leave the decision solely in her hands. She responds, I am 6 feet away. At this point, all my anti-mask hatred bubbled up and I barked, no you f***ing weren't, until I stepped away and turned away. Then she mumbles under her breath, it's not going to protect you anyway. I turned around, looked her right in the eye and said, so we, gestures wildly around the store, are all dumb and you're the smart one. Okay. She was gobsmacked and just stood there stunned. The cashier and bagger were both particularly sweet to me after that. I'm done quietly shaking my head in disgust. I think I'm gonna get a bullhorn just to start asking people very loudly where their mask is. I mean, look, I'm all for people, like, telling people, hey, you know, you should wear a mask, but, like, maybe not like that. Okay, WTF. I forgot I ever listened to a video covering the same topic months ago. I listened to it while drawing a piece of art, and now I'm laying here redrawing the picture while accidentally listening to this video on the same topic from last time. Weird shit. I got a job because I put freestyle rapping on my resume. I put freestyle rapping in my skills on my resume and forget I put it there. Got a call for a $55K a year job, and in the interview they asked me to freestyle and had an MF and Eminem style beat ready to go like they were waiting all day for this shit. Lol. Well, I f***ing killed the bars. I spit like 10 verses off the top related to getting the job and the place it was at, and they offered me the job on the spot. God, it's so hard to read these when there's no punctuation. And also, these are just ridiculous and not true. First time getting thrown out of a shop. Oh no, why are they celebrating? In the Asian shop on blank there. It was busy. I was the only one not wearing a mask. Oh boy. Got some smiles of acknowledgments from fellow shoppers, which made me smile. The owner ran up to me angry and said I have to put on a mask. I don't have one. I can sell you one. We've got them for £1. I'm not going to wear one, I said. Well, you've got to have an exemption card. Yeah, I got one. At this point, another shopper stepped in. You can't make someone show you their card. It's against the law. Yes, I can. It's my shop, said the shop owner. Well, we could call the police now, said the shopper, who deserves a massive hug, by the way. It seemed like a discharge of energy in the shop that was waiting to be sparked. For f***'s sake, just put a mask on, piped up another shopper walking past. I smiled. These people are like, they feel like they're doing something patriotic for not wearing a mask. Like, people like looking at them smiling like, oh man, you're such a hero. Get out of here. Just wear a goddamn mask. Went on a virtual social last Friday. My ex was there. Question came up, what was the first Disney movie ever to be released? Answer comes around, Snow White. And my ex pipes up, how is that the correct answer? She says with confidence to the quizmaster. It's actually Steamboat Willie. I quickly hop on the mic. May I interject? It's actually Snow White. Steamboat Willie is the first Disney animated short. Snow White is actually the first Disney animated movie. You are wrong. Whole call goes wild. I stay cool. She leaves the Zoom call out of embarrassment. 'Twas a good night. TLDR, Disney knowledge is cool. What's... It's just too ridiculous. Actual unsolicited conversation while I was waiting for the light to turn green in blank city today. Right. Old person. Hi, you have a nose ring. Me. Yes. And a tattoo on your knee. Also yes. Don't you think it's unrespectful to your parents that gave such an amazing life gift to mutilate your body like that? Do you have children? Yes, 2 girls. Awesome, congratulations. Did you get your daughters to get their ears pierced when they were born? Absolutely, they each got earrings with their birthstones before they were 1 year old. Don't you think that's breaking their freedom of choice over their body to get their ears pierced before they are even able to consent? Shuts themselves. That's what I thought. Have a good day. Yeah, no, no, didn't happen. True, when I was 11, I had to do a magic grid for maths homework. I spent 2 hours solving the bugger, only to get to school and to have the teacher tell us it was impossible. And if you think you've got the answer, you don't. I timidly put my hand up and made her look a fool as I dismantled her maths and teaching degree with my barely out of primary school education. Don't mean to brag, but when you've not achieved a lot, you wait for moments like this. Okay. If you encounter wine snobs, confuse them by using this move. So I told my mom about this post before she and my dad went on a trip to Napa. She was delighted to try this out. And apparently, when she straight-faced lifted her glass of Chardonnay to her ear and swirled it, she baffled the other winery goers so much that they all instinctively did exactly the same thing. That sort of crowd thing, that you weren't quite sure what's right, but you'll be damned if you're mistaken for the plebeian you are. But watching that was enough for my mom to lose her composure, laugh so hard she cried, and spilled the entire glass all over herself, in the process of getting kicked out of the winery. So long story short, do this at your own risk. The audacity of the rich. I'm a nomadic anarchist, but others would call me homeless. Got an infection and needed antibiotics. It cost $35 or I'd lose my arm. I tried to panhandle a guy with a Ferrari. The spit on my bloody bandages and told me to get a job. I understand I do this by choice, but most homeless are not by choice. I seriously wanted to throw a brick through dude's windshield. I restrained myself, but I can't believe the audacity of these rich sometimes. Yeah, that's a lot of downvotes. Rightfully so. Walking through Walmart past the Valentine's Day stuff, I overhear some girls complaining they want someone to buy them chocolate. As I walk past, one goes, him and his tattoos can buy me chocolate, to which I casually replied, my wife gets chocolates, roses, pretzels, and last Valentine's Day I gave her a baby. Needless to say, she apologized profusely, and I heard her friends teasing her, Uke? Whole time I walked away. Sure. Feeling beyond lucky right now. Got to my store expecting cues. It was dead. They only got one in stock and I managed to get it all. Staff came out to congratulate me. Hashtag PS5 stock UK. No one's congratulating you for buying a game console, my man. So I used to work for an Audi car dealership. Most of our clients are educated, high net worth individuals. This lady came in and bought a brand new Audi S8 for like $170,000 or somewhere around there. A couple of days go by and my coworker receives a frantic phone call from the lady. She's super angry and accusing us of selling her a lemon. She tells my coworker that her brand new Audi just died on the highway and she is stuck in the middle of nowhere. She's very upset. So my coworker decides to troubleshoot. He asks her what warning lights are showing on the dash. Is the check engine light on? Is the oil indicator on? Are the lights yellow, red, flashing? She says no warning lights are on, just that the engine chokes and will not turn on. So my coworker asks her, what does your gas tank show? Is it full or empty? Is the fuel gauge all the way to the left or all the way to the right? She looks at the gauge and tells him that the gauge is on the letter E. He says, ma'am, you ran out of gas. That's why you're experiencing the issue. The lady answers back, ran out of gas? What do you mean I ran out of gas? Do you think I'm stupid? Those sort of things only happen in movies, not in real life. What? We called Audi roadside and they came to put some gas in her car. This woman is a high-profile lawyer who makes over $800,000 a year, yet she did not realize that cars can run out of gas. People are idiots. Look, as amusing as this would be if it was real, no. My life has reached a new level of awkward. I was singing, yelling robbers by the 1975, obviously, and the neighbors called the cops saying that someone was in the house screaming about a gun. I can't. What? How could they have heard you? You know what? Never mind. High schoolers of Reddit, what's your worst experience in sex ed class? A guy was arguing with a girl about being able to control when you get an erection. She said we can control it. Proceeded to pull his fully erect This didn't happen. Proceeded to pull his fully erect member out in the middle of the class with the words, if I could control it, why would this be hard from arguing with an ugly like you? Edit. To whomever found this helpful, thank you and are you okay? Yeah, No. So the one time I went into that Dick's restaurant where everyone is mean, well, let's just say they never have met anyone like me. Waiter. So who are you all with? My students. Our teacher. She is our model coach. Well, isn't she too ugly to be modeling? Well, at least I don't look like a raccoon slaving away in a business who underpays you to take others' orders while the higher-ups are making millions. Let's just say that after we had a long talk about what he wanted to do in his future. What do you gain from, like, you don't look cool or anything. There's nothing to gain from this. Anything to make people feel important, I guess. Popped into HM to buy a sweater for work. This guy follows me in and says, you probably don't remember me. I see you walk this street a few times a week, and you give $1 to at least one homeless person. You've given me at least $30 over the past 6 months. I finally found a job and a place to live. Thanks. Then hands me $50 and walks away. No. Honestly, some refs just need their asses kicked, so maybe this taught this ref a lesson. Refs should really watch who they throw out. I was by no means a thug, but I beat the hell out of 6 refs as a freshman and played the rest of my time never to be penalized again. Maybe he should have hit 1 or 2 more. Man, these are exhausting. I've lived in Italy since 2010, and I use the spoon and or cut the noodles just to piss off bratty and snobby Italians who stick their noses in other people's business. Once I was on a date in a nice restaurant and started joking with the girl, not Italian, about Italian arrogance. She didn't get the joke, so I had to demonstrate. She started to cut up half the noodles, and for the rest, I used a spoon to roll them on the fork. As soon as I started, people started gasping and whispering in disgust. One guy even started arguing with me about how I should take my manners seriously, otherwise I should go back where I came from. I just started laughing out loud and said to him, "Where I come from, we eat pussies like you for dessert," and advised him politely to go back to his meal and mind his own business. Luckily, the girl was also a person of culture and appreciated the trolling. I don't think people are going to get upset at you for using a spoon with your pasta. You're just making yourself look like a dickhead. I had a terrible night, a terrible compliment at Costco, and I just needed some retail therapy. Somehow I scored the luxury card at a Target, complete with a cup holder, so naturally I had to fill that empty space with some Starbucks. As I was checking out, the security guard came up to me and said, "I wanted you to know that I have great respect for you for not wearing a mask." Son of a bitch. I was like, gulp, "Is there a but?" He said, "No, I just wanted to let you know that I have so much respect for you for not wearing a mask." I nearly cried. In a world of dirty looks, people bashing others for not wearing masks, this was the greatest blessing, blah, blah, blah. Shut up. Just shut up. I got pulled over just now, and the fucking cop hit on me and was trying to get me to go on a date with him, and I turned his ass down and got a ticket. Can you say salty ass? Can you say full of shit? A 50-plus-year-old woman who was cracked out on drugs approached me, 21M, at a bar and said, "My husband is a Hell's Angel and he could kick your ass." I was so shit-faced, but I remember sobering up so fast from that encounter. Seconds later, after responding, "I own the Hell's Angels," I find myself aggressively making out with this crackhead in front of all my college friends, sent the bar into a massive roaring cheer. We're just gonna move on to the next one. So awesome. Like a year ago, I was parked in a parking lot and a gentleman came up to me telling me how he was on hard times and loved the saying on my truck and did not have a penny to his name. After talking for 30 minutes, I gave him $20. A year later, I'm in the same parking lot and he comes up to me and says, "Do you remember me?" I said, "I do." He said, "Here's that $20 bill you gave me. My life is going in the right direction. Thank you for helping me in that day." Oh man, these are getting worse. So when I was like 16, my parents came up and woke me up in the middle of the night. They started going off on me about how they just got a phone call, again in the middle of the night, from a very irate individual accusing that I had gotten his daughter pregnant. After about 3 agonizingly long minutes where I was growing increasingly anxious, my sleep-addled mind finally caught up to the situation. I stopped my parents mid-verbal assault and said, "Wait a minute, you have to have sex to get someone pregnant. We're good. It's not me." Both of my parents stood there silent. A brief moment of realization set in, followed by a robust round of equally humiliating laughter. It was obviously a prank call, but we never did figure out who from. Okay. Today I f***ed up by having my dad showing my family my own sex tape. TLDR, don't have sex without curtains. You never know who's watching you. This is the first story I write on Reddit, and it will forever haunt me, I guess. So yesterday I went to my girlfriend's house. She lives in a high-rise building with those huge windows, with a really nice view on other buildings in the region. She made me dinner with some good wine, and we proceeded to watch a nice movie and have amazing sex. She just moved into the apartment, so she didn't have any curtains up, but had those nice red LED lights to set up the mood, if you know what I mean. The wine made it so we didn't bother if someone was watching from the neighboring buildings, and according to my girlfriend, the window was somehow tinted. Anyway, we finish everything. Pretty amazing night, not gonna lie, and I head back home since I had a family lunch early the next day. We get to lunch and the boys in the family were sitting together. My dad gets up to tell his amazing quote-unquote story he had last night. My parents were invited for dinner at their friend's house, and he talks about how during the whole dinner, there was a couple having sex in the building in front of them. This confused me in the beginning, and I started to have a mini panic attack, thinking, how could this be me? But kept reassuring myself that the windows were tinted. My dad proceeds to show us a video that he took, and here I am performing at my best in front of everyone. Fortunately, you can't really tell that it's me in the video. I did not say a single word the whole lunch. Utterly shocked, and here I am writing this and still didn't open my mouth since. He then sent it to his friends, work friends, heck, even the gardener saw the video. Yeah, that's gonna be a bull for me. Teacher, remember guys, the essay on the Mongols is due tomorrow, so get on it. Andrew, what if I have a hot date? Chuckles to his buddies. Teacher, use your other hand. Turns around to the board. I swear to God, the entire class flipped it. No one would expect a teacher to make a masturbation joke in class. So while the entire class was rioting, Andrew's face was beet red. It took the entire period to calm down. People were yelling and screaming like maniacs. Andrew, you just got owned. Holy shit, Andrew, you got roasted. Someone contact a burn ward. Damn, Andrew. Mr. Burns, you are a savage. Even the English class next to us came over to find out the riot that was going on. Andrew has never talked back to any teacher ever since. I have a newfound respect for my history teacher. No. Grab lunch with a buddy. Guy sits down across bar, loudmouth douche, flirting with hot bartender about his Colombia trip, and he only likes the purest blow. Says to us, you guys know what I mean? My buddy pulls his creds and says, yeah, after 30 years with DEA, I do. Silence. Alright, last one. Was walking a 5 and 7-year-old to school, watched a red-tailed hawk snatch a squirrel from the sidewalk in front of us and slam it into someone's garage door. Neighbor was outside, we adults were in shock, and the 7-year-old starts singing The Circle of Life from The Lion King. Everyone lost it. I'm just happy that this has just 3 little upvotes. And well, ladies and gentlemen, we have thankfully reached the end of r/Thathappened. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell so you get notified every time Easy Peasy uploads. And if you want to hear more of me, my personal channel, Zach X Fuller, is linked in the description below. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, I'll see you around.